It was the late 80s and early 90s. The NBA was tough, physical, and full of legends. But when Michael Jordan stepped on the court, everything shifted. He wasn't just playing, he was taking over. Dropped 63 on the Celtics without a single three. Walked into the Hawks locker room just to send a message. Hit the shot that shattered Cleveland's heart. Jordan made every game personal. He didn't just score, he humiliated. Dunks that crushed defenders. Fadeaways no one could stop. Mind games before the ball even tipped. This video is full of Michael Jordan's most savage plays. Don't forget to subscribe before you watch anything else. Let's talk about one of the coldest, most savage moves in NBA history. 1987 Bulls versus Hawks. You'd think Michael Jordan is somewhere in the zone. Lacing up, locked in. Nope, not MJ. He walks straight into the Hawks locker room. Not his, theirs. No greetings, no warnings, just straight smoke. Atlanta's players are dialed in, getting taped, going over matchups. Then boom, the room goes silent. Jordan steps in like he owns the place. No smile, no words, just presence. He walks right up to Randy Whitman, looks him dead in the eye, and sends the message, "You're done tonight." It wasn't a stunt, it was psychological warfare. Before the game even started, Jordan changed the world. The Hawks weren't just playing the Bulls, they were already playing from behind. By the final buzzer, the Hawks didn't just lose a game, they lost control. Jordan didn't just beat you, he broke you, mind, body, soul. What made Michael Jordan's savage plays so cold-blooded wasn't just how he pulled them off. It was the way he embarrassed pros who were supposed to be at the top of their game. Like that dunk over Patrick Ewing. That wasn't just 2 points, that was a full-blown declaration. This is my house, this is my court, and apparently you're part of the furniture. That clip still runs in highlight reels decades later for a reason. It wasn't just a dunk, it was a moment burned into NBA history. Jordan didn't just play the game, he rewrote what the game looked like. He had this wild talent to make the impossible seem casual. Jumping from the free throw line? No problem. Hanging in the air while defenders panicked midair? Easy. And by the time he slammed it down, even rival fans couldn't help but go crazy. That's not just dominance, that's theater. The game against the Celtics in '86, Jordan was only in his second season. He'd missed most of the year with a broken foot, and still, he walked into Boston Garden and dropped 63 points on a 67-win Celtics team, stacked with 5 future Hall of Famers: Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, you name it. Here's the savage part. He didn't even hit a single three. Not one. This was all mid-range pull-ups, rim attacks, fadeaways, the kind of buckets that wear your soul down. The Celtics had gone 40-1 at home that year, and they watched helplessly as Jordan kept a young, outmatched Bulls team in the fight by himself. Larry Bird, arguably the greatest trash talker in NBA history, had nothing. No comebacks, just silence. After the game, Bird simply said, "That wasn't Michael Jordan out there. That was God disguised as Michael Jordan." That's when the world knew. This guy wasn't just good, he was something else entirely. This wasn't just a breakout game. It was Jordan grabbing the league by the throat and saying, "I'm not here to take part, I'm here to take over." In 1989, Bulls versus Cavs, Game 5, series on the line. Chicago's down by 1 with just 3 seconds left. The inbound goes to Jordan, and in a moment that feels frozen in time, he rises over Craig Alo, elevates, releases, buzzer. Bottom of the net, the Bulls win.
2 seconds to go, puts it up and scores at the buzzer! Michael Jordan has won it!
Cleveland is stunned, but what made it savage wasn't just the shot. It was what came after. MJ leaped in the air, fist pumping like a man who'd just taken someone's soul. And in a way, he did. That celebration wasn't just emotion, it was domination. Jordan had 44 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. But all anyone remembers is the shot. For Cavs fans, that moment didn't end with the buzzer. It echoed for years. Jordan didn't just win the game, he etched heartbreak into Cleveland's history. Fast forward to 1991, NBA Finals, Bulls versus Lakers. Chicago's down a game and Game 2 is slipping. And then Michael does something that shouldn't be possible. He drives to the rim midair, ready to slam it with his right hand. But the Lakers collapse around him, so Jordan switches hands in mid-flight, glides past the defense and lays it in with his left. The crowd explodes. Even Magic Johnson looked like he couldn't believe it. That wasn't just athleticism. That was instinct, timing, grace, and vision all rolled into one. The basketball world didn't even have words for it. They just called it the move. And that moment, it flipped the entire series. March 28th, 1995. Jordan's fresh off retirement, and he's back in the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. The Knicks were hoping he'd be rusty. Instead, he gave them 55 reasons to regret it. This wasn't just a scoring night. This was surgical. Jordan was calm, controlled, and completely ruthless. Fadeaways, drives, mid-range killers, he carved up the Knicks like it was personal. And for the record, it always was personal with the Knicks. The arena was stunned. Knicks fans had seen this movie before, but somehow, it still hurt worse every time. That game became known as the double nickel. And it wasn't just a reminder that Jordan was back. It was a statement. I never left the throne. The dunks that looked like they came from a different planet. Jordan's 1991 season had 94 recorded dunks. And no, they weren't just flashy finishes. These were moments that shook defenders to their core. It was like each dunk was a personal message. You can't stop me, and I will embarrass you. What made it so brutal was the timing. Jordan had this sixth sense. He'd rise at the perfect moment, hang in the air longer than you thought possible, let the defender react, and then finish like the rim owed him money. When he attacked the basket, defenders were stuck between two bad choices: jump and get humiliated, or move and look soft in front of their fans. But it wasn't just about the poster. These dunks had psychological weight. Opponents played with a constant fear that at any moment, Jordan might take off and drop something that would be on highlight reels for the next 30 years. That fear, it was part of his game. He didn't just dominate with skill, he dominated with terror. Now let's talk about the fadeaway. Jordan's dunks might have been the most explosive, but this shot, it was cold-blooded, a nightmare in slow motion. He'd post you up, take his time, create a sliver of space, then lean back into a fade that seemed to break the laws of physics, while keeping that buttery smooth shooting form. And here's the savage part. Everyone knew it was coming. Teams built defensive schemes just to try to stop it. Fans would see the setup, hold their breath, and somehow it still swished over and over again, like a machine. It wasn't just a move. It was psychological warfare. The fadeaway became his move, because it was unstoppable, unforgiving, and pure Jordan. Technical perfection with a side of disrespect. That's what made it so savage. Michael Jordan's most savage plays weren't just about skill, they were psychological warfare. He didn't just aim to win, he wanted to break spirits. Whether it was dropping 63 on the 86 Celtics, hitting soul-crushing buzzer beaters, or walking into opponents' locker rooms to intimidate them before tip-off, MJ made every moment personal. His mix of freakish athleticism and cold-blooded competitiveness turned highlight plays into unforgettable statements. Jordan redefined domination, not just through baskets, but through mental control. These moments still echo across sports as a gold standard of greatness. When players say they want to be like Mike, it's not just about talent, it's about that ruthless fire to own every second on the court. If you loved reliving these iconic MJ moments, subscribe and turn on notifications. Comment below with your favorite Jordan moment. Was it the shot? The Ewing dunk? Let's talk hoops. See you in the next one.